Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. I have another page for 30 Days of Sketches, Christie's Beautiful Life, Series 18. This is today's sketch by Susan Ingersoll, and I'm also combining this with Mixed Media Mayhem. So, we are supposed to use tissue paper, watercolor, and fiber. So I cheated a little bit on the watercolor. I was in a hurry and I wanted to get this on some paper, so I did use some Spritz ink to as part of my watercolor. Now, do I have gold watercolors that I could have pulled out and use the packaging technique? Yep, I do. Did I want to do that? Nope, I didn't. This was on my desk already, and just grabbed it and went for it. So there you go. I cheated. Um, so I am put that on some watercolor paper, and I'm going to set that aside. And so as you can see that on the bottom of my box, I did have some tissue paper, and this was actually some paper that was in between some transparency papers that I had purchased. And so I just sprayed that with the same Spritz ink as well, and you will see what I do with that here in a little bit. So here I am trimming up that watercolor paper and using it as a background within this 49 Market chipboard frame. And there you can see my little sticky notes of each page of what I was planning on, which sketch I was planning on using there. And so here is my background paper, getting that trimmed up to my little over 5 by 8 sized page here. And I will do a final walkthrough once I finish up all the pages, which I do have them finished, and the book is actually all together at this point. And once I've shown each individual page's process video, I will try and do a walkthrough of the entire book, so be on the lookout for that. And so here I kind of fold up the tissue paper here to give a little interest on, and I'm going to use it to map my photo. It'll give a little bit of that lighter color as well as some of that gold behind the photo. And I think I did one other fold there at the bottom. Yep. And then I just use my trimmer to trim that off, trim the edges, and make them all even. So have you tried tissue paper before? It's not something that I grab a lot of, but I do have a lot of these papers that came between the transparencies that I've been using, and yeah, so I might have to do this more often here. So I kind of like how it turned out. So I am glad that I'm playing along with this challenge today and got a chance to use tissue paper in a different way. So here I have another chipboard piece here, and I do end up chopping off the top of it there and used a scrap of that watercolor paper that I sprayed on, and I also filled that in there. So here is my first chipboard frame going down, and this, you can't really tell what it is there. You can see it has a word on there. It was a clear, kind of looks like a tab, and it says captured. So I used my Tim Holtz tiny attacher and just stapled that directly onto the page. And here is where I finally get that last gold piece used up that I had mentioned in a previous video, and that is the last frame from a I don't think it was Thickers. I actually think this was a Pink Fresh set from quite some time ago. So got something used up and the packaging is gone. So Just evening that up there so I can get that all flush up against that upper frame. And you won't actually see that seam anyway, that I do end up putting part of the title over that. So here is my photo down. As you can see, I did previously, I had put a black foam, but I did make sure to put it in areas where it was not going over the top of the chipboard area that's in behind. So here is my title. It says Dreamer. And I also need to add some foam adhesive in a few strategic places as well, so everything is the same height going all the way across. There, put those down, and trying to decide where to put that butterfly, and that ends up going right up there at the top. And then these last two pieces here are laser cut buttons from 49 and Market, and I'm going to put those there by that cluster of tickets there. And so I did decide that I needed to add a little bit more here, so I pulled out these not laser, enamel shapes, these triangles, and so I think that the last three red pieces on there were these triangles, so I've now at least used up all the red from that sheet. And then here I think I'm done. I'm showing you up close, and I remember I'm supposed to use trim as part of my mixed media mayhem. And so I go back and I do get some trim on this page. So I pull out this rickrack here, and I put a piece down under here. And normally I would use hot glue is my favorite way to put ribbon and trims onto layouts and things like this that are going to be outside of page protectors. But since I didn't want to heat up my my hot glue gun, and two, I would have had to squeeze it and probably burnt myself trying to get it tucked down in there anyway, so I just went ahead and used some glue dots, and then there you can see I did add a little bit of liquid glue as well. So there, I got my trim on as well. So that is going to wrap this up. Here are some close-up shots here. You can find a list of my Instagram as well as Pinterest accounts down below, as well as a playlist for everybody playing along with both Mixed Media Mayhem and the 30 Days of Sketches. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Bye.